Oh, Emeka groaned, his eyes closing in delight. Mama, this food is so sweet. Did an angel cook it? Mama Informer burst into laughter. No, my son, no angelo, just me. Mama Informer. Emeka didn't reply. He was so busy eating. He flipped the plates in what felt like seconds and looked up embarrassed. Mama, can I have another plate? He asked shyly. Mama Informer laughed again and served him another plate, then another. By the time Emeka was done, he had eaten 3 full plates and could barely sit up straight. You really love food, don't you? Mama Informer teased. Her sweet food put him in trouble. Part 2. Emeka sat at the bar, staring at the empty soda bottle in front of him. His face looked tired, his shirt was wrinkled, and his shoes were dusty. He had lost everything he once had, and now he was just trying to figure out what went wrong. I warned you, Emeka. Okay, his best friend said, shaking his head. I told you not to depend too much on Stella. I told you this would happen. Okay? I beg. Does that? Emeka replied, his voice low. I didn't plan for things to end this way. But you let her control everything, Okay said. Now, see where you are. Homeless and jobless. Emeka sighed deeply. He knew Okay was right, but hearing it over and over made him feel worse. He thought about Stella. She had given him everything. A big house to live in, a mechanic workshop to run, and connections to big clients. Life with Stella had been good. At least, in the beginning. The soul was certain, and Emeka's stomach growled louder with every step he took. He had walked for hours, thinking about his life and how everything had fallen apart. His feet ached, his heart felt heavy, and the hunger was making him dizzy. Then, as if by magic, a sweet, delicious smell filled the air. Emeka stopped in his tracks, sniffing like a dog. His nose led him to a small wooden signboard that read, Mama Informer's Kitchen, food that heals the soul. Emeka's stomach rumbled again. Food that heals the soul? He muttered. That's exactly what I need. He pushed open the small wooden door and stepped inside. The place wasn't fancy, just a few plastic tables and chairs, but it was packed with people, all eating and smiling, like they had just won the lottery. Welcome, my son, a cheerful woman called out from behind the counter. She was short and round, with a wrapper tied around her waist, and a big smile on her face. Good evening, Mama, Emeka greeted. What do you have? Ah, everything good, my son. We have jollof rice, egusi soup, amala, nkwobi. Just name it, she said, waving her hand at the pots of steaming food. Emeka's mouth watered. Please, give me a plate of jollof rice with fried plantain, he said, trying not to drool. Mama Informer quickly served him a big plate. The rice was bright orange, with bits of meat and vegetables, and the plantains were golden brown and perfectly fried. Emeka didn't waste time. He picked up a spoon and took his first bite. Ooh, Emeka groaned, his eyes closing in delight. Mama, this food is too sweet. Did an angel cook it? Mama Informer burst into laughter. No, my son, no angelo. Just me, Mama Informer. Emeka didn't reply. He was too busy eating. He finished the plate in what felt like seconds and looked up, embarrassed. Mama, can I have another plate? He asked shyly. Mama Informer laughed again and served him another plate. Then another. By the time Emeka was done, he had eaten 3 full plates and could barely sit up straight. You really love food, don't you? Mama Informer teased. Mama, I've eaten in big restaurants before, but nothing beats your cooking, Emeka said, patting his stomach. You should be feeding the whole country with food this good. Mama Informer smiled, but there was a sadness in her eyes. Ah, my son, I don't have the money or strength to do more than this small bouquet. This is all I can manage. Emeka sat up straight. An idea was forming in his mind. Mama, what if we work together? He asked. Work together? How? Mommy Farmer asked, looking curious. You cook amazing food, and I know how to talk to people and find customers. I can help you grow your business and make this place famous, Emeka said excitedly. Then, after a pause, he added shyly, but I also want to learn how to cook like you. Mommy Farmer's eyes widened. You? A man? You want to cook? Yes, Mama. Please, teach me. I've made so many mistakes in my life, but I want to start again. I want to learn something real. Something I can build my life on, Emeka pleaded. Mommy Farmer looked at him for a long moment, then sighed. Cooking is not easy, my son. It's not just about throwing ingredients in a pot. It takes patience, love, and hard work. I am ready to work hard, Mama, Emeka said firmly. Mommy Farmer smiled. All right, my son. If you are serious, come back tomorrow. We'll see if you have what it takes. Thank you, Mama. I won't disappoint you, Emeka said, grinning from ear to ear. As he left the booker, his heart felt lighter. For the first time in a long while, Emeka had hope. He didn't know how things would turn out, but one thing was clear. This was the beginning of something new. The next morning, Emeka arrived at Mama Informer's kitchen, ready to start his first cooking lesson. He wore a clean shirt and carried a notebook and pen. He was determined to learn everything. Mama, I'm here, Emeka said, smiling as he stepped into the kitchen. Mommy Farmer looked up from the large pot she was stirring. Ah, my son, welcome. I hope you came with plenty of energy because cooking is no joke. I'm ready, Mama, Emeka said confidently. Mommy Farmer handed him an apron. Good. First lesson. Wash those vegetables properly. Emeka rolled up his sleeves and got to work. But after a few minutes, Mommy Farmer walked over and gasped. Ha! Emeka, what is this? She exclaimed, holding up a muddy tomato. I washed it, Mama, Emeka protested. Washed it? This tomato still has sand. Do you want people to eat sand and break their teeth? Mommy Farmer scolded. Ah, Mama, it's not that serious, Emeka said, scratching his head. It's serious, so. Cooking is not just about food. It's about care. Go and wash them again, she ordered. Emeka sighed and went back to the sink. He scrubbed the vegetables carefully this time, making sure they were clean. Better, Mommy Farmer said, inspecting his work. Now cut these onions. Emeka picked up a knife and started slicing. But after a few cuts, his eyes started watering. Mama, my eyes, oh. This onion wants to blind me, Emeka cried, blinking rapidly. Mommy Farmer burst out laughing. Welcome to the world of cooking, my son. Onions are small, but mighty. Emeka sniffled and wiped his eyes. This is harder than I thought. Don't worry, you'll get used to it, Mommy Farmer said, patting his shoulder. Now, let's move on to making soup. She showed Emeka how to boil meat, add spices, and mix ingredients to create a delicious pot of egusi soup. Emeka tried to follow her instructions, but things didn't go smoothly. Mama, is the soup supposed to look this brown? Emeka asked, staring at the pot. Mommy Farmer peered inside and gasped. Emeka, did you burn the soup? I think so, Emeka said, embarrassed. Mommy Farmer shook her head. Cooking is not about rushing, my son. You have to take your time and pay attention. Start again. Emeka groaned but didn't give up. He threw away the burnt soup and started over, carefully following Mommy Farmer's advice. By the end of the day, Emeka was exhausted. His arms ached from stirring, his feet hot from standing, and his apron was covered in stains. But when he tasted the final pot of soup, a big smile spread across his face. Mama, this soup is sweet too, Emeka said, his eyes shining. Mommy Farmer tasted it and nodded. Not bad for your first day, but you still have a long way to go. I'll do it, Mama. I'll keep learning until I'm as good as you, Emeka said determinedly. Over the next few weeks, Emeka came to the kitchen every day. He learned how to fry plantains without burning them, how to season meat just right, and how to make fluffy jollof rice. He made mistakes, burning rice, spilling oil, and even breaking a pot once. But he never gave up. One day, Mommy Farmer watched him as he prepared a pot of stew. "You are getting better, my son," she said, smiling. "Thank you, Mama. I couldn't have done it without you," Emeka said. "Remember, cooking is not just about food," Mommy Farmer said. "It's about putting love into what you do. That's just what makes the food special." Emeka nodded. He was beginning to understand. Cooking wasn't just a skill, it was an art. And for the first time in his life, he felt proud of himself. As the sweet aroma of the stove filled the kitchen, Emeka realized something important. This wasn't just about food. It was about starting over, learning from his mistakes, and becoming a better man. Weeks turned into months, and Emeka had become a good cook. Mommy Farmer was proud of him, and the customers at her small restaurant often praised his food. But Emeka wanted more. He wanted to start something of his own, just like Mommy Farmer had done. One evening, after the last customer had left, Emeka sat down with Mommy Farmer at a table. "Mama, I have something to tell you," Emeka began. Mommy Farmer wiped her hands on her apron and sat down. "What is it, my son?" "I want to open my own kitchen," Emeka said, his voice steady. Mommy Farmer raised her eyebrows. "Your own kitchen? Are you sure you are ready?" "Yes, Mama. You've taught me everything I need to know. I want to take what I have learned and start my own place. I want to make you proud," Emeka said with a smile. Mommy Farmer looked at him for a long moment, then nodded. "You will work hard, Emeka. If you believe you are ready, then I won't stop you. But remember, starting a business is not easy. You will face challenges." "I know, Mama, that I'm ready to face them," Emeka said confidently. With Mommy Farmer's blessing, Emeka began planning his new venture. He rented a small shop in a busy part of town and used the little savings he had to buy pots, plates, and other cooking supplies. He painted a signboard that read, "Emeka's Kitchen, food that feeds the heart." On the opening day, Emeka was both excited and nervous. He woke up early to prepare jollof rice, egusi soup, fried plantains, and pepper chicken. The aroma of the food filled the air, attracting passerby. "Emeka, are you sure people will come?" Boke asked, leaning against the counter. "They will come." "Okay, just wait and see," Emeka replied, wiping his sweaty forehead. The first customer was a man in a blue suit. He sniffed the air and walked into the kitchen. "What do you have?" the man asked. "Good afternoon, sir. We have jollof rice, egusi soup, and more. Everything is freshly made," Emeka said with a big smile. "Give me a plate of jollof rice from chicken," the man said. Emeka quickly served the food. The man took one bite, and his eyes widened. "This is delicious," the man exclaimed. "Thank you, sir. Please tell your friends," Emeka said happily. Word spread quickly about Emeka's tasty food. Soon, the small shop was full of people, all wanting to taste the dishes. Emeka worked tirelessly, serving plates after plates. By the end of the day, Emeka was exhausted but happy. He counted the money he had made and couldn't believe it. "Ah, okay, I did it," Emeka said, grinning. Okay patted him on the back. "I'm proud of you, my friend. You've come a long way." But Emeka didn't forget Mommy Farmer. He went back to her kitchen with a gift, a shiny new pot. "Mama, thank you for everything," Emeka said, handing her the pot. "I wouldn't be here without you." Mommy Farmer smiled, her eyes shining with pride. "You have done well, my son. Keep working hard and always put love into your food." Emeka nodded. "I will, Mama, I promise." As he walked back to his own kitchen that evening, Emeka felt a sense of fulfillment. He wasn't just cooking food. He was building a new life, one step at a time. Emeka's kitchen had grown popular in the neighborhood. Every day, people came in droves to enjoy his meals. Emeka was happy, but he soon realized that running a restaurant business wasn't as easy as he thought. One hot afternoon, Emeka sat at the counter, fanning himself with a piece of cardboard. The kitchen was packed, and his small staff was running around, serving customers. "Chika, hurry up with that plate of rice," Emeka called out to one of his helpers. "Come in, Olga," Chika replied, balancing a tray of food. As Emeka wiped sweat from his forehead, Oke walked in and sat at a table. "Ah, Emeka, you are looking stressed," Oke said, laughing. "My brother, this business is not for the faint-hearted," Emeka replied, shaking his head. The customers are many, but so are the problems. What kind of problems? Okay asked. Emeka sighed. Sometimes we run out of food before the day ends. Sometimes customers complain about small things, like the pepper being too much, and then there's the landlord. What did the landlord do? Okay asked, looking curious. Emeka frowned. He increased my shop rent without warning. I barely have enough to pay him. As if on cue, the landlord walked into the kitchen, his belly bouncing with each step. Emeka, the landlord called out. Emeka quickly stood up. Good afternoon, sir. Afternoon. Have you brought my money? The landlord asked, tapping his foot. Sir, I'm still working on it. Business has been tough. Emeka explained, his voice calm. The landlord frowned. Tough or not, I need my rent. If you don't pay the end of the month, you will have to pack out. Yes, sir, I will pay, Emeka said, his heart sinking. The landlord walked out, leaving Emeka feeling worried. Okay noticed his friend's gloomy face and tried to cheer him up. Don't let it get to you, Emeka. You've overcome bigger challenges before, Okay said. I know, okay, but it feels like everything's coming at me at once, Emeka replied. Just then, a woman at one of the tables raised her hand. Excuse me, my food is taking too long. I'm coming, ma, Emeka called out, rushing to the kitchen. It was one of those days where nothing seemed to go right. The gas burner suddenly stopped working, and Emeka had to call a technician to fix it. A new supplier brought vegetables that were already spoiling, and one of his staff accidentally spilled a pot of soup. Today is a disaster, Emeka muttered to himself. Later that evening, as he locked up the shop, Emeka sat outside on a bench, his head in his hands. He felt tired and defeated. Why is everything so hard? He whispered. Just then, Mommy Foma walked by and saw him. Emeka, my son, why are you sitting here like this? She asked, sitting beside him. Mama, this business is harder than I thought, Emeka said. There are so many problems, and I don't know how to handle them. Mommy Foma patted his shoulder. No one said success would be easy, my son. Challenges are part of life. The important thing is how you face them. But what if I fail, Mama? Emeka asked, his voice low. Failure is only final if you give up, Mommy Foma said. You have come so far, Emeka. Don't let these small problems stop you. You are stronger than this. Emeka nodded slowly. Thank you, Mama. I'll keep pushing. Good. Now go home and rest. Tomorrow is another day, Mommy Foma said, smiling. Emeka walked home that night, feeling a bit better. He realized that he needed to stay strong and find solutions instead of giving up. The next morning, Emeka arrived at the restaurant early, determined to make things work. He sat down with his staff and shared his ideas. We need to plan better, Emeka said. From now on, we'll buy enough food to last the whole day. And Chika, make sure you double-check the gas burner every morning. Yes, Oga, Chika said, nodding. Emeka also decided to talk to the landlord and negotiate for more time to pay the rent. To his surprise, the landlord agreed. Slowly but surely, things began to improve. Emeka learned to manage his time and resources better. He started writing down ideas in a small notebook, always looking for ways to solve problems. One evening, as he served a plate of jollof rice to a customer, the man smiled and said, "This is the best food I've tasted. Keep it up." Emeka smiled back. "Thank you, sir." In that moment, Emeka realized that no matter how hard things got, he couldn't give up. He was building something special, and he wouldn't let challenges stop him. Months passed, and Emeka's kitchen grew stronger. He had faced many challenges, but he refused to give up. His food was becoming famous, and people came from far and wide just to eat at his small kitchen. But Emeka didn't stop there. He had big dreams. One sunny afternoon, as Emeka wiped the counter and whistled a happy tune, Oke walked in, grinning from ear to ear. "Emeka, you won't believe this," Oke said, waving a newspaper. "What is it, Oke?" Emeka asked, looking curious. "You've been featured in the local newspaper. Look." Oke handed him the paper. Right there on the front page was a headline that read, "Emeka's Kitchen. the home of tasty Nigerian meals. Emeka's jaw dropped. Ah, okay. I can't believe it though. Believe it, my friend. Your hard work is paying off, okay said, clapping him on the back. Emeka read the article out loud. He talked about how his food was not just delicious, but made with love. It also mentioned his struggles and how he built his business from nothing. This is amazing, okay, Emeka said, his eyes shining. But it's only the beginning. Okay, laughed. You're always dreaming big. What's next? I want to expand, Emeka said, his voice firm. I want Emeka's kitchen to be everywhere, not just one small shop. I want to open branches in other towns and cities. Emeka, the big man. Okay, teased. But how will you do it? Emeka thought for a moment. I will need help. Maybe I can talk to some investors or get a small loan. I'll also need to train more people to cook like me. As Emeka spoke, his mind raced with ideas. He didn't just want to cook food. He wanted to build something that would last forever. A few weeks later, Emeka got a call that would change everything. It was from a man named Mr. Johnson, who owned a chain of restaurants. Good afternoon, Mr. Emeka, Mr. Johnson said over the phone. I've heard a lot about your kitchen. I even visited last week and tasted your jollof rice. It's excellent. Thank you, sir, Emeka replied, trying to stay calm. I'm impressed with your story and your food, Mr. Johnson continued. I'd like to invest in your business. Let's meet and discuss how we can expand Emeka's kitchen. Emeka almost dropped the phone in shock. Ah, thank you so much, sir. I'll be there. The meeting went well. Mr. Johnson agreed to help Emeka open 3 new branches in different parts of the city. Emeka couldn't believe it. His dream was finally coming true. On the opening day of the first new branch, Emeka stood outside the restaurant, looking at the shiny new sign. Emeka's kitchen, tasty food, happy hearts. The place was packed with people, and Emeka's heart swelled with pride. Oke was there, as always, cheering him on. Ah, Emeka, look at you now, from struggling mechanic to restaurant owner. Oke said, shaking his head. Who would have thought? Emeka smiled. It wasn't easy. Okay, I made a lot of mistakes. I even hurt people along the way, but I've learned my lessons. Which lesson is that? Okay asked. Emeka thought for a moment before replying. Never take people for granted, especially those who help you. I hurt Stella, and I lost her trust. I'll never make that mistake again. That's good, my friend. You've grown, Oke said. As they spoke, Mami Foma walked in, carrying a small gift. Emeka ran to her and hugged her tightly. Mama, you came. Of course I came, Mami Foma said, smiling. I'm so proud of you, my son. Look how far you have come. It's all because of you, Mama. You taught me everything, Emeka said, his voice filled with gratitude. Mami Foma handed him the gift. Open it. Emeka unwrapped the package to find a brand new chef's hat. Written on it were the words, Master Chef Emeka. Tears filled Emeka's eyes. Thank you, Mama. I'll wear it with pride. That evening, as Emeka stood in the kitchen, cooking for his customers, he felt really happy. He wasn't just a man who loved food anymore. He was a man who had built something meaningful from his struggles. And as he stirred a pot of jollof rice, he whispered to himself, this is only the beginning.